Hello all, and welcome back to MYP Masterclass for Biology. Today we will be looking at specialized cells. So, what are specialized cells? They are these cells that have distinct structures and functions that allow them to perform specific tasks within an organism. And today we will be looking at a few: ciliated cells, root hair cells, xylem vessels, palisade mesophyll cells, nerve cells, red blood cells, sperm and egg cells. And these all have very different roles, but they are all very important in the functioning of different organisms. So how do cells specialize? Cells specialize through differentiation, which is controlled by gene expression. Think of it as a light switch that you can turn on and off based on what is needed in an organism. So, as I said, this involves the turning on of genes necessary for the function of the specialized cell, and the turning off of genes that aren't necessary to its function. So let's get started with ciliated cells. Ciliated cells have cilia, as we can see here. And we have learned that this is a hair-like structure that helps move substances along tracts. In this case, the ciliated cells, which are found in the respiratory tract, help move mucus, which traps pathogens, which is basically bacteria, dust, everything you don't want in your respiratory tract. It helps move this mucus and these pathogens along the trachea and bronchi so they can be expelled from the body by coughing or other ways. And they are also found in the fallopian tubes, and they help move the egg cell towards the uterus. Next is root hair cells, and they have this distinct shape, and it helps increase the surface area of the cell, and it is going to allow for better absorption of water in plant roots. Next is the xylem vessels, and they are unlike many cells because they don't have a cytoplasm or end walls. So in this way, a tube can be formed, which is going to allow water to only move up towards the leaves. Next are palisade mesophyll cells, and these play a vital role in photosynthesis due to their abundance of chloroplasts. As we know, chloroplasts are the ones that contain chlorophyll, and due to this, they will be able to efficiently absorb the sunlight that is required for photosynthesis. In this diagram, you can see kind of a cross-section of a leaf, and right here, under the upper epidermis of the leaf, are the palisade mesophyll cells, and we can see here that they have a lot of chloroplasts, and they are these little green dots. Next are nerve cells, and their role is to send and receive signals throughout the body. And there are a few adaptations in their forms that allow them to do this effectively, but the main thing is the sheer length of these cells. The axon can reach up to 1 meter in length, so it can stretch throughout your body, and it's going to allow for signals to be transmitted very fast and effectively. Next are red blood cells, and their role is to transport oxygen in the body. And it is one of the few cells in the body that does not have a nucleus. And this is going to allow it to be flexible and pass through small spaces such as veins and arteries to deliver oxygen effectively. Next are the two cells that are very, very important in reproduction. Sperm cells are those that seek to fertilize egg cells. And there are two main things that allow it to do this effectively. First is the flagella, which is going to help propel the cell to fertilize the egg quickly. And then the acrosome cap is a part of the cell that has enzymes that are going to help break down the egg's protective layer and allow for fertilization. And egg cells are another building block in reproduction. And the two main things, among others, that allow it to succeed in its function is its cytoplasm, which is very rich in nutrients that are going to help the growth and development of the embryo once fertilized, and this zona pellucida, which is a protective layer that is going to prevent more than one sperm from fertilizing the egg. So these are the main specialized cells that you should know. Now that you know what they are and how they specialize, it is important to mention that you may have to draw some of these cells, like the root hair cell. So keep that in mind, and thank you.